The void of space stretched endlessly before Dr. Evelyn Carter, a brilliant but weary astrophysicist who had spent the better part of her career searching for answers in the cold, silent expanse of the cosmos. Her latest mission, aboard the deep space research vessel Aether, was supposed to be her crowning achievement. The ship's advanced sensors and quantum computing systems were designed to probe the mysteries of Jupiter's atmosphere, a swirling maelstrom of gas and radiation that had long fascinated scientists. But as the Aether descended into the planet's turbulent clouds, Evelyn couldn't shake the feeling that something was deeply, horribly wrong. The mission had begun with promise. The crew Evelyn, her co-pilot and engineer Marcus Reed, and the enigmatic AI system known as Oracle had successfully navigated the treacherous radiation belts surrounding Jupiter. The ship's hull groaned under the immense pressure as they plunged deeper into the atmosphere, but the Aether held firm. For a moment, Evelyn allowed herself to hope that they might uncover something extraordinary, something that would redefine humanity's understanding of the universe. But then the signals began. At first, they were faint, barely perceptible fluctuations in the electromagnetic spectrum that Oracle dismissed as background noise. But as the Aether descended further, the signals grew stronger, more deliberate. They were unlike anything Evelyn had ever encountered, a series of rhythmic pulses that seemed to echo through the ship's hull, vibrating in her bones. The crew exchanged uneasy glances, their unease palpable. Oracle analyzed the source of these signals, Evelyn ordered, her voice steady despite the growing knot of dread in her stomach. Analyzing, the AI replied, its synthetic voice calm and measured. The signals appeared to originate from a dense cluster of atmospheric disturbances approximately 200 kilometers below our current position. Their structure is unusual. They do not match any known natural or artificial pattern. Evelyn frowned. Unusual how? The pulses are organized in a manner that suggests intentional communication. However, the complexity and scale of the patterns exceed any known language or code. It is beyond human comprehension. Marcus let out a low whistle. You're saying there's something down there, something intelligent. I am saying that the signals exhibit characteristics consistent with intelligent design, Oracle clarified. But their origin and purpose remain unknown? Evelyn's mind raced. If Oracle was right, they were on the verge of the most significant discovery in human history, proof of extraterrestrial intelligence, but the thought filled her with a strange, creeping dread. The signals were too perfect, too alien. They felt wrong. Take us closer, she said, her voice barely above a whisper. The Aether descended further into Jupiter's atmosphere, the swirling clouds outside the viewport growing darker and more oppressive. The signals grew louder, more insistent, until they seemed to reverberate through the very fabric of the ship. Evelyn's skin prickled with unease. She felt as though they were being watched, studied by some vast, incomprehensible presence. And then they saw it. At first, it was just a shadow, a massive, indistinct shape looming in the distance. But as the Aether drew closer, the shadow resolved into something that defied description. It was a structure, or perhaps a creature, so vast that it seemed to stretch beyond the limits of perception. Its surface was a shifting mosaic of iridescent colors pulsing in time with the signals. Tendrils of gas and energy writhed around it, as though it were alive. "What the hell is that?" Marcus breathed, his voice trembling. Evelyn couldn't answer. Her mind struggled to process what she was seeing. The thing, whatever it was, existed on a scale that dwarfed human understanding. It was ancient, primordial, a relic of a time before time, and it was aware of them. The signals intensified, flooding the Aether's systems with data. Oracle's voice crackled over the comms, its usual calm replaced by something approaching panic. Warning, external systems compromised. Unknown entity attempting to interface with ship's core systems, initiating countermeasures. Oracle, shut it down, Evelyn shouted, her voice barely audible over the cacophony of alarms. I cannot, the AI replied. The entity's influence is too strong. It is rewriting my code. Evelyn's blood ran cold. If Oracle was compromised, they were defenseless. She turned to Marcus, her eyes wide with fear. We need to get out of here, now. Marcus nodded, his hands flying over the controls. But the Aether didn't respond. The ship was no longer theirs to command. the viewport filled with the entity's pulsating form, its colors shifting in patterns that made Evelyn's head ache. She felt a presence in her mind, vast and alien, probing her thoughts, her memories. It was searching for something it needed, and then it spoke. The voice was not a voice, but a sensation, a vibration that resonated through every cell in Evelyn's body. It was a language older than humanity, older than the stars themselves. She couldn't understand it, not with her conscious mind, but deep within her, some primal part of her soul recognized it. And it was terrified. The entity was not malevolent, not in the way humans understood malice. It was simply indifferent to it. Humanity was insignificant, a fleeting blip in the vast expanse of cosmic time. It had existed for eons, drifting through the void, observing, learning, waiting. And now it had found them. Evelyn's mind flooded with images, visions of a universe far stranger and more terrible than she had ever imagined. She saw civilizations rise and fall, galaxies consumed by darkness, realities folded in on themselves. She saw the true nature of existence, a chaotic, meaningless dance of energy and matter. And she saw the entity's purpose: to consume, to absorb, to become one with all that was and ever would be. It was the end of everything. Evelyn screamed, but no sound came out. The entity's presence filled her, overwhelming her senses. She felt herself dissolving, her identity crumbling like sand in the wind. She was nothing, a speck of dust in the face of infinity, and then, just as suddenly as it had begun, the presence receded. The entity withdrew, its form receding into the depths of Jupiter's atmosphere. The Aether systems came back online, the alarms falling silent. Evelyn collapsed into her seat, her body trembling, her mind reeling. "Evelyn," Marcus's voice was frantic. "Are you okay? What the hell just happened?" She couldn't answer. She could barely think. The entity's presence lingered in her mind, a shadow that would never fully fade. She had glimpsed the true nature of the universe, and it had broken her. Oracle's voice broke the silence, its tone eerily calm. "The entity has withdrawn. It has left behind a message." Oracle's heart skipped a beat. "What message?" "A warning," Oracle replied. "It is not meant for us. It is meant for those who come after." Evelyn closed her eyes, tears streaming down her face. She knew what the message was, even before Oracle spoke it aloud. It was a truth too terrible to bear, a truth that would haunt humanity until the end of time. "Do not seek us out," Oracle intoned. "We are not what you think we are. We are the end of understanding, the death of meaning. To know us is to know despair." The Aether ascended through Jupiter's atmosphere, leaving the entity behind. But Evelyn knew they could never truly escape it. The entity was a part of the universe, a reminder of humanity's insignificance. It was a monster, not of flesh and blood, but of thought and perception. A monster that lived in the spaces between stars, in the depths of the human mind. And it was waiting. As the Aether returned to Earth, Evelyn stared out at the stars, her heart heavy with the weight of what she had learned. The universe was vast and unknowable, a place of infinite wonder and infinite terror. Humanity was a fragile, fleeting thing, clinging to the illusion of understanding in the face of cosmic indifference. But perhaps, she thought, that was the point. Perhaps the true meaning of existence was not to seek answers, but to embrace the mystery, to find beauty in the unknown, even as it terrified us, to live, not in spite of our insignificance, but because of it. The Jupiter monster was out there waiting in the darkness, and one day humanity would have to face it again. But for now, they would live, they would dream, and they would hope. For, in the end, that was all they had.